Hello world, Christina here, and I am officially a streamer now. I don't have Twitch affiliate yet, so you can't subscribe to me on Twitch. However, I would really appreciate it if you gave me a follow so I can work towards Twitch affiliate. If you can tune in, that also helps a whole lot. Kind of working towards being able to make a little money on Twitch, and I'm just starting out, so every follower counts. That being said, this is the first piece that I was able to put together on stream, so I'm really excited to show it off. I'm very proud of it. So let's get started. All right. So I'm streaming on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays from 7:30 to 9-ish p.m. on CST Central Time. The first piece that I decided to do is a piece that I've been kind of putting on the back burner for a long time, but I've been wanting to do it, and I made some Facebook posts about it. Basically, I cosplayed the champion Ahri from League of Legends back in 2015. I was 16 years old at the time. I made my entire costume from scratch. And after the whole Comic-Con day came and passed, we had taken some photos of me in my costume, and I wanted to do a couple of photoshops with them, and I ended up doing that. The way that I looked in the pictures compared to Ahri's original splash art kind of made me self-conscious. I felt really bulky and gross, and I really don't like feeling that way, so I stopped looking at it. I feel like that's something that is more pervasive for a lot of young women especially, but also young men. And I wanted to make a version of Ahri that is relatable. And originally I called this series Realistic Body Types, and that kind of has a point to it, but I felt like the word realistic implied that nobody has the proportions that the original splash art has. That kind of made me uncomfortable because of course there's people out there that have proportions like that, but they're not numerous like my body type is. And so I wanted to really talk about that experience and be able to translate it into something that could perhaps help others see a more relevant body type to what they experience in their life. And so that's where I renamed this kind of series that I'm hoping to do to relatable body types rather than realistic body type. My whole point here isn't really to be woke. It was just that I saw this unpleasant experience that I had as a kid, and I really wanted to adjust what was causing that issue. And if it helps other people out, then more power to it, to the project, I suppose. But really, it was just a thing where I saw an opportunity to reimagine this character and perhaps a few other League of Legends characters, really make them something that people can relate to so that it's less of a fantasy kind of draw and more of a, hey, I could be that warrior, basically. I understand where League of Legends and Riot Games marketing makes these characters this way, and we haven't seen a lot of body type variety in the League of Legends universe, really, so I wanted to kind of shake it up a little bit, do something new, do something that is good for my brain, and I hope good for the brains of others. And I think that I did a really good job with this one. I wasn't sure what I'd be capable of going into it, but I really enjoyed what I was able to put together, especially being that I was drawing while live, which meant I had to be talking here and there. And I'm not a multitasker, as anybody who works with me can attest to. Really, I did this one with no line art, and I started with just the character, and I basically did a value painting like we've talked about on the channel before. I didn't really like the way I left it at the end of my first stream, so in between streams I kind of went back to it when I could focus on it a little bit more. I went and just made all of the adjustments that I felt needed to be made and really drove home the value painting that I put on there to begin with. And so when I started my second stream, I was ready to go just to put the color on there and get her done. I made a couple of mistakes while on stream where I was accidentally erasing my work and had to go back and kind of fill it back in, but all in all, this piece turned out really good. I put into effect a couple of lighting techniques that I've been listening to on the interwebs, the YouTubes, and things like not adding gray to your shadows and instead turning up the saturation on your shadows. I think that really played a huge role in making the lighting on Ahri work, especially because the original splash art is very, very dark, and I didn't want to drown out her face or anything like that, but I did want to be as true to the splash art as I could. Ahri took me about 3 hours, and my normal drawings on this channel tend to take about 2, so this was kind of an in-between as far as how much time I spent on it. I think that it really turned out well, and I don't think I would spend more time on it. I feel like that would be a little bit of a time sink. Of course, there's things that I would adjust if I had the time, but I think it's time to set this piece down and move on to the next, and I can put all of those changes into my next piece because there's always a next piece, so that's exciting. I think that's really all I have to say about Ahri. I hope that you enjoy her and can kind of see where I'm coming from, where I did my cosplay and it wasn't as impactful as I would have liked it to be. Especially as a 16-year-old, I was fairly healthy, and yet I still felt very inadequate in my costume. So I hope you can see where I'm coming from there. I'm just doing something that feels good for my experiences. And with that being said, I'm gonna kind of wrap things up here. I have these 3 canvases that I am trying to put together into a giveaway of sorts. So at some point, there will be a giveaway going on for follows on Twitch and subscriptions on YouTube. So I will count all of the subscriptions and follows that have accrued on the channel so far, because all of you guys are my base fans. So feel free to give me a subscribe or a follow to enter into this giveaway. The canvases are a big question mark at the moment, but I will show them when they are finished. So that might be mildly confusing, but just know that that is coming up in the future soon, and you can enter by just subscribing or following me at any point in time. Now would be great. But otherwise, I want to say thank you so much to my patrons, Nathaniel, Mark, Twyla, and Liam. You guys are amazing, and I'm so grateful to have you on the team. And if you would like to get some exclusive content and all of that good stuff, you can also become a patron and support the channel. The link is in my description. Obviously, all of my sharing links are also in the description, so you guys have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll give you 1,000 experience points for getting to the end of the video. And don't forget to drink some water, and I will talk to you next week. Peace.